Steel dog transition ties expand the use of your handset forms by allowing you to connect to half-inch coil rod. And half-inch coil rod is one of the most universal thread forms in the concrete industry. So being able to connect to that really broadens the use of your forms. We make a transition tie for almost every handset system out there. So whether you're using 1 1/8 forms, aluminum forms, or job built, we've got a tie that will allow you to connect to half-inch coil rod. And I'll show you some of the ways that you can use these ties in the field. One of the most common uses for transition ties is in the forming of a one-sided wall. And a one-sided wall is where you're trying to form a new wall up against an existing structure. Now that commonly is actually an existing concrete wall like we have here. So what you see here is an existing concrete wall that has drop-in anchors which are fastened into the wall. Now those drop-in anchors have a half-inch coil female thread. So we've taken half-inch coil rod and actually threaded that into the drop-in anchor. That gives us a really nice attachment point for our transition ties. So this is a steel dog transition tie, which you can see actually converts back to a regular loop coil tie end. So you're using very familiar components to form this one-sided wall, as opposed to doing something like externally bracing the wall, which is really labor intensive and can be very expensive. Steel dog also makes a number of other fasteners that allow you to tie into existing structures, such as steel, wood lagging, rebar, all using the same transition tie and half-inch coil rod. Another basic but very useful application for transition ties is using them to make up custom formed ties in the field. Now you can do this by taking different lengths of pre-cut coil rod and attaching a transition tie on either end of that coil rod. What this gives you is a tie that you can make up at any length, whether it's fractional, extra long, and it's just very, very quick and secure. A lot of people use perforated banding or welded together ties to make up a custom tie, and that's just not nearly as secure as what you've got here with two transition ties. This is also great for battered walls where you're going to need multiple different tie lengths that are usually fractional or oddball, and ordering that stuff is complicated and also expensive, and this is just very, very quick and easy to do in the field. You can find out more information about transition ties or any other one-sided hardware on steel-dog.com.